happens with this person you help out? Well, either they pull out of their pit, right? So there's usually only one way to go, which is up, right? So that's why it's such a great strategy, because you're buying low, selling high. Either they pull out of it, they don't pull out of it, or they die, okay? So if they pull out of it, you say, woohoo! You know, they have been saved by Jesus, and God gets credit, and you know, our church, you know, helped minister this, and boy, you're probably going to have a believer after that, right? Because you have implanted in their brain this idea that it was the Christianity that was the cause of them pulling out, which they might have been able to do on their own. They might have been able to do it with just the ham and cheese sandwich you gave them.
Yeah.
You know,
you've asserted a causal link.
You've asserted a causal link, right?
Where you can't demonstrate one. And we hear all the time about people who are, I was a drug addict who was addicted to everything, and my life was miserable, and I was living on the streets, and I had no money left at all, and I had tried and tried to pray to God to get me out of this situation, and it never happened. And then one day I met a man who explained Jesus to me in a way that no one ever had before, and it really touched my heart. And immediately I had no more desire for drugs, alcohol, and now I'm the CEO of a Fortune 500 company. Okay, yeah. I'll claim a slight exaggeration in the story, I think. The point is that you haven't demonstrated any causal effect. People change, despite what some people think, all the time. And they do it without the intervention of religion. There are secular sobriety groups. There are self-help organizations and group therapeutic organizations that help promote people to better their lives. Why? Because better is better. Mm-hmm. It's not really that hard. Once you get through to people that they are responsible for what happens to them, that yes, we don't all start off on an even keel. Life isn't fair. Some people get stuff handed to them. Some people have more problems put on them, more pressure. Okay, as soon as you get over this all men are created equal nonsense, that is something that's in our Declaration of Independence, because it's a premise about how we should go about treating people with regard to their rights. The fact of the matter is, all people are not born equal. Otherwise, you know, we wouldn't have the Olympics. We wouldn't have sports groups. We wouldn't have people who are CEOs and people who cook fries. We need all of these people, and hopefully, you know, maybe there's a way to improve everybody so that we shift the trend up. But you don't start off even. And once you get over that, and then you say, okay, now I've got to deal with my life, and I need to deal with reality on reality's terms. And my decisions have consequences. My beliefs promote actions that have consequences. They have consequences on me, they have consequences on other people, and I need to be able to go through and assess cost-benefit analysis, risk-reward analysis, gut check feeling about whether or not I'm doing the right thing and how's this going to benefit me, and stop feeling sorry for myself because things didn't work out the way they did last time. I'm not trying to say that everybody's po-po pitiful me. Once you get that into people's heads, that they can change their lives, lives start changing. You don't need, religion's a really good shortcut for that. It really is. Oh, Jesus can change you. Well, you say that to enough people, one of them's going to believe it because they just hadn't been convinced that they could do it on their own. If you take the extra step to convince them they can do it on their own, not only would they tend to get out of that, but they tend to stop looking to fictional...
Right, you've taught them to fish, to use that
tugging
metaphor,
onto the skirt of a fictional man in the sky every time something goes wrong. When you teach people how to deal with problems rationally, they no longer need to panic and, oh, God, oh, please help me not get arrested today. What? Please help me pass this test. Hey, here's a cure for passing tests. Study.
Learn the crap.
If you pray before tests and you think Jesus helps you, you're cheating. You're praying to cheat. Some of us actually, wanted to read and study a little bit and learn something. I mean, anybody can give you an A. Hell, I know some people who got A's first. Never mind.
Okay. So that's what happens when they pull out of it, right? You steal credit for God. If they don't pull out of it, if they don't pull out of their tailspin, then you blame the victim. You say, well, you just haven't accepted Jesus in your heart. You just haven't embraced this idea. It's all your fault. And the whole faith-based charity thing is based on this core idea that the people who are poor because they don't believe in whatever, right? They don't believe in God, and God hasn't given the blessings in return.
Yeah.
And that's the core foundational part of it, which is the sort of flip side of this whole thing.
Not to keep adding rants to your subject, but
Okay.
2 quick points to go along with this. Ray Comfort is one of the people who's guilty of one aspect of this, and that is he'll make the claim that you can demonstrate to anybody that God exists inside of 30 seconds, and all they have to do is sincerely hit their needs and ask for God to reveal themselves to them, and God actually will do it. And then when you say, well, I did that and God didn't do it, then the answer is you weren't sincere enough.
Yep.
And then the
What a
second
scam.
example is the deceased troll known as Mother Teresa, who
Oh, yeah.
felt that suffering was a blessing from God because it taught us more about, it helped us appreciate the good things from God. So while she ran around collecting millions in order to create new nunneries, to create new nuns, to put dying people who didn't need to be dying if we'd have spent the money on medical treatment and food, they put these people in these
care. Yeah.
horribly squalid places and allow them to suffer, I don't know, with dignity?
Yeah, she had kind of a sadistic sort of mindset where she thought the suffering was just the most wonderful thing in the whole world. And
hey,
called it
Jesus suffered.
Kisses from Jesus.
If Jesus suffered, then you can suffer too. Well, you think you're better than Jesus? Meanwhile, we're stockpiling tons of money, and we're taking money from, I don't know, SNL loan scammers and Haitian dictators. Never mind.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Keating scandal.
Don't tell me Mother Teresa was any kind of saint.
Yeah. Okay, let me give 2 more real quick examples of stealing credit. One is,
got 1 minute.
when I was in Spain, you were in the castles in Spain, and when you left the castles, you left under these portals, they had these religious icons over them, and the thing was to pray to that icon that you would return safely. You went out, you returned, it was because of that damn icon, right? If you didn't return, it was because you didn't pray. Same sort of gimmick. Another example of stealing credit is the Christian nation myth, right? Our nation is strong and wonderful not because of Christianity, but because of
In spite of it.
things like freedoms, democracy, self-determination, all these things which are mostly at odds with the religion, so I'm wanting to get that out. In all of these cases, religions are stealing credit for something they didn't earn. Right?
Yeah.
God's given credit for...
They also steal credit for explaining the origins of the earth, morals, anything that they can. Any place they can stick God in as an explanation, they go for it. There's no tie, there's no evidence, and it's basically ignorance and fear and gullibility exploited. Thanks for tuning in. We only have a few seconds left. I want to remind everybody we'll be down at Threadgills here very shortly. This coming Saturday is the Bat Cruise. There's more information at the website. The 27th, we'll be heading to the San Antonio Zoo. Thanks to everybody who's tuned in live, and for those of you who are watching or listening around the world. We appreciate the emails. We cannot respond to every one of them, although we're desperately trying.
Yeah,
But we do read all of them, and we're very grateful for the efforts of some people who are helping to promote the show around the world. Please keep it up, and we'll see you again next week.
And thanks to our callers, of course, if you didn't say that.
And the crew.
And the crew.
I ain't working, that's the way